If she fixes it, I'll eat my degree, the CEO shouted, jabbing a finger toward the young woman covered in grease and sweat. Laughter erupted behind him, from executives in suits, from engineers with Ivy League diplomas. In the middle of the hangar stood Leela, a 25-year-old mechanic no one had heard of, wearing an oversized jumpsuit and boots older than the airplane itself. She didn't speak. She didn't blink. She just stared back at the man whose name was stitched into the company's logo. That morning, she'd simply shown up with a toolbox and a resume no one took seriously. No college, no fancy internships, just hands-on knowledge passed down from her late father, a warplane mechanic who taught her engines the way others taught piano. The team scoffed when she offered to help with the prototype jet that hadn't started in 6 months. Millions had been poured into diagnostics, testing, and software. Nothing worked. And now, a girl with a wrench thought she had a shot. "Let her try," one of the junior engineers had murmured, half in jest. The CEO laughed. "Fine, you've got 1 hour, then get out of my hangar." Lila didn't need an hour, she needed silence. She stepped toward the engine like a surgeon approaching the table. Not with arrogance, but with reverence. Her fingers brushed the intake like she was reading Braille. She didn't look at monitors or readouts. She listened, felt, understood. The men watched, amused, arms folded. She murmured something about the fuel mixture being overcompensated for sea-level conditions and adjusted a tiny overlooked valve deep in the intake assembly. 43 minutes later, she wiped her hands and said, "Try it now." Someone snorted, but the lead tech shrugged and climbed into the cockpit. One button press, and the hangar shook. The engine roared to life, perfect ignition, no misfires, no warnings, just pure, clean thrust. The room froze. The CEO's smirk vanished. The engineers started, mouths open. One of them dropped his clipboard. The plane that hadn't made a sound in 6 months was now purring like it was born to fly. The lead tech climbed down, wide-eyed. "What did you do?" Lila smiled faintly. "I listened." The CEO stepped forward, jaw clenched. His pride was shattered, but the reality was louder than his ego. He looked at her hands, rough, steady, and stained with knowledge none of his hires could replicate. "Who trained you?" he asked, quieter now. She looked up. "My dad. He fixed bombers in the Gulf. This one reminded me of his stories." The next day, headlines lit up across aviation news sites. "Unknown mechanic revives grounded jet in minutes." Photos of the moment the engine lit up went viral. The company issued a press release calling her a consulting technician, but the truth was clear. Lila had done what no engineer in the building could. She wasn't after fame. She didn't care about the articles. She just wanted the engine to fly. But as offers rolled in, from NASA, from private aerospace firms, even from the military, she said no to all of them. Instead, she accepted one job, head of diagnostics at the very hangar where they laughed at her. The CEO never ate his degree, but he did apologize. Publicly, in front of his staff, and in an even more humbling twist, he later told interviewers, "That woman taught me more about engines and humility in 1 hour than 4 years of business school ever did." Lila changed everything. She started mentoring women from local trade schools. She opened a free weekend program for high school girls to learn aviation mechanics. And the jet she brought back to life. It went on to break a speed record 6 months later, with her name etched on the inspection panel. People began calling her the Jet Whisperer, but Lila never saw herself that way. She was just a girl who listened, really listened, to machines. And maybe more importantly, a girl who didn't let laughter drown out her instincts. So never underestimate quiet talent. Degrees may open doors, but wisdom, passion, and grit can rewrite the blueprint. Sometimes, the one covered in grease is the one who saves the day. Before we end this story, let us know in the comment, where are you watching from? If this story touched you, subscribe to the channel and hit that like button and drop a karma in the comments below.